Hello Kevin, how are you?
I'm good, hello Guy.
Thank you for coming today. And I read that your first attempt to make music was on a Nintendo console.
Yes.
Could you explain it?
We started to go on parties and explain this big bass music, and then one of my friend had a Nintendo with a program called Music Maker, and you could move small boxes around with a snare in and a hi-hat. You could not choose much, but then we started and we really got into this game of music.
For how long did you work with it, and did you change for another software? How was it?
We worked for a while with this Music Maker, and we put up as many speakers as we could find in my flat and my friend's flat, and so we had a wall of really bad speakers, but we feel we had a lot of power.
Yeah.
Yes, and then so we get really interesting to making music, and we changed to Reason, which was a better program.
Yeah.
And later we changed to Cubase, where it's still going on today.
But from there to create Phaxe, how was it?
I started making a project called Sinister Silence with my friend back in the days, and then over time I kept on going with producing and was really a lot, and my friend did not get a girlfriend and this, so he stopped a little bit, and then Phaxe became because it was my thing, my life. I was doing it every day.
Where did you get the name from?
This name I got from the years before creating music. I was doing graffiti.
So do you still like the street art?
Yes, a lot. I really admire, and especially when I come to a new country, like here in Brazil, they have a certain style in graffiti, and this I really admire.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And any band or artists who inspired you in the beginning and right now?
In the beginning of the years, I was totally into all Scandinavian and northern progressive trance like Tygon and Atmos and Haldolium and Beat Monks, and the guys from this age was so big impression on me, and I was really listening and really sit and counting kicks and what they did with the breaks and stuff like this. It was really big inspire, and they still are, in my opinion.
For sure. I think those artists that you said, they are like a big inspiration for a lot of people. Yeah.
For the whole of our scene, I think.
Yeah. And you have worked with a lot of artists, but if you could pick one now to work with, doesn't need to be a progressive trance art, doesn't matter. Who would be?
If I could pick one, I would say I would like to think about it until tomorrow. So I pick the right one. But it's hard to say. One specific name. I would love to work with really professional singers and people who could bring something to the table that I cannot at all. I cannot write one line, and I cannot sing at all.
Now you just create a new label, yes, with some friends, Martin Granal and Vice, I reckon,
yeah.
Could you tell us about your work in 432 Records?
Yeah, sure. The whole idea about this 432 Records is actually just to open a label, because we were friends who started this together many years ago, and we released music, and now we are on a certain point where why should we not try to make a label for friends by friends?
Now I want to talk about production. Which software do you use?
When I am on stage and play, I play from Ableton Live, like many others, or like mostly are doing. But in studio has always been, for the last long time, Cubase.
When you are playing with Ableton, do you use the clips or the arrangements? Because you know, a lot of people say, he's doing with the arrangements, he's not playing a live, you know? Or if he's doing it with clips, he's just doing a set. What do you think about it, and how do you use it?
I arranged the set before, and I think to make it as a live set, in my opinion, you really need to shorten some of the track and take out the intro and maybe cut one part out and put it here so it fits better, and this would be impossible for me to do by clicking yes, now I want this track and this track. And also sometimes you add new sounds that is only for 30 seconds, and if I should stand and this, I will not be able to deliver the same quality of live set, I would say.
So tell us about your studio setup. What gears you've got?
I have the Virus Polar, as of course many trance artists has these days. A small drum machine from TC.
Yeah.
And that's actually it in hardware.
So
I'm mostly a mouse guy, you know.
So is there any synth that's a must in your production?
I would say a must in my production, the Virus, when I have it and I learned it and I know a lot, so when it's not there I feel I'm missing this power of this synth. But a must-have synth, I think it's hard to say. I was also using Minimoog for a long time, but as a VST.
Yeah.
But I think it's difficult. I don't really choose a synth for a specific sound so much. I rather want to try it on this synth and then compare, maybe, okay, this is a stronger saw sound than on this one, and then choose, or maybe even mix the two and make one synth out of two different VST plugins.
And are you a guy like addicted to vengeance sounds as well?
No, no. I prefer to make my own synth. Of course, everybody use a good sample. I mean, if the sample fits to your track, use it. But in my opinion, it doesn't help to make a track only of samples. Yeah. And it's also hard to make harmonies, and you get limited a little bit by only using samples.
Most of the time you are on the road traveling, a lot of gigs. Can you produce while you're traveling, or is it hard only in your studio?
Actually, lately I tried to produce on traveling, but I find it so hard to focus, you know, to get in the zone somehow, because I don't know, and maybe it has also something to do with the small screen. When you sit normally with two screens and you have your plugins here, your sequencer here, and your mouse, and you know where everything is, and you feel comfortable. There I relax and I get easy into the bubble, the music bubble, where there's nothing else than just you and whatever comes out.
To finish, any advice for those who are starting to produce now?
You have to believe that you can do, and you have to be able to give a lot from yourself to gain your goal. To create music is the same as be a professional football player. You need to practice every day, and not just practice for 2 hours or 3 hours. It's the whole day you need to practice and learn, and it's the same by music. And for me it was such a big passion that it was easy for me to cut away at one period some friends and even some family things, because it was all about this, and sit like 12 hours, 18 hours, and the next day wake up, sit with no clothes, just go back to the studio and sit and keep on producing. And my advice will be, not that you have to do like this, but you really need to want it, and I believe you can get what you want if you want it enough.
Yeah, good.
Somehow,
good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Interview. E galera, se vocês estão gostando do Estúdio Aberto, dá um like na nossa página no Facebook, se inscreva no nosso canal do YouTube e até a próxima. Valeu!